In the headlines, Dominica now has 6 active cases of COVID-19. 30 families in Grand Bay receive keys to their new homes. And no response yet to the Public Service Union's concerns on the Hospital Authority Bill. I'm Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, 30 families benefit from a $12 million housing project in Grand Bay. Keys were handed over to the new homeowners during a ceremony on Wednesday. Member of Parliament for the Grand Bay constituency, Edward Regis, says more housing units are on the cards for the community.
Today, my dear friends, poor people are being made rich. Poor people are being made rich. And you know why I say that? Because each of these apartments cost $400,000, my dear friends. The entire development here cost $12 million. So the poor are made rich this afternoon. We need many more apartments, my dear friends. Many more. But I am confident that the Dominica Labour Party, of which I am part of, will continue the development process here in the Grand Bay constituency. And you know why I know that? Because, my dear friends, whatever Labour has promised, Labour has delivered, my dear friends.
Though the housing units are a gift from government, the Grand Bay MP implored the homeowners to take care of the property and contribute towards its upkeep.
Freeness is worriness. I don't know how it's going to work, but you have to make some kind of contribution towards the maintenance of this place, my dear friends, no matter how small. Because, as I told you, this is $400,000 for each apartment. All you went there on Sunday, all you see how nice it's looking. All right, all you love it. You would never be able to build a house for $400,000. And so therefore appreciate it and love it. And give your thanks to the government of Dominica, not to Ed, but to the government of Dominica, to the Prime Minister, to the Minister of Housing. Because they are the ones who put it up for you to benefit, my dear friends.
Senior Minister and Minister for Housing, Reginald Austrie, assured the people of Grand Bay that land has been identified for the expansion of the housing project in the constituency.
To those of you who are not receiving a key today, I want to give you the assurance that the process continues. In fact, had it not been for COVID, we would probably be on the ground because we have already identified in the center lands for the continuation of the housing project. And these pink marks you see, these are vacant lots in center on which we intend to continue to build the homes for the people of Grand Bay.
In more top stories, Dominica now has 6 active cases of COVID-19. The disclosure was made on Thursday morning by Minister for Health, Dr. Irvin McIntyre, who says there is no community transmission of the virus. According to the minister, the active cases are currently in government's quarantine facility and the majority of cases is imported.
As of September 24th, 2020, we have a total of 30 confirmed cases of COVID-19. 24 of them have fully recovered and 6 are at the COVID center. 5 of these active cases are asymptomatic and only 1 has mild symptoms. The age ranges from 2 years to 59 years with the median age being 33 years. The male to female ratio is 1. The majority of these cases are imported. A total of 87 contacts have been identified from the community. Only 3 of the contacts are COVID positive, and 96 of them are negative. At this time, the reproductive rate of COVID-19 in Dominica is 0. That means there is 0 community spread.
According to the health minister, the country's positivity rate is among the lowest in the world.
Our positivity rate is 0.96%, which means out of every 100 tested, less than 1 is positive. A positivity rate of less than 1 is the ideal position to be in. It is among the lowest in the world.
Dr. McIntyre informed the public that the lab has increased its testing capacity and other improvements have been made in the country's COVID-19 protocols.
As regards to pre-arrival screening, most of the technical issues have been rectified now. Submission of the questionnaire is much more user-friendly. Reply notifications are being sent and received on time, and the glitches in the system have been rectified. Pertaining to PCR testing, we have increased our lab capacity from 25 tests per day to nearly 100 per day. We are in the process also of setting up new PCR equipment.
The public is also being reminded to play its part and follow health and safety measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19. In other developments, no response yet to the Public Service Union's concerns on one of the 4 medical bills to be brought before Parliament. The Hospital Authority Bill is to date the most contentious of the 4, which were made public to get feedback from the Dominican people before being taken to Parliament. General Secretary of the Public Service Union, Thomas Later, says the union wrote to the National Health Commission on 14 September expressing its concerns, but to date no response has been given. He believes the union should have been greater involved in the drafting of the bills.
We were never involved, and we were just given something like anybody else. Although we believe, yes, every stakeholder is important, but if you have to think of one major, we should be that major because we represent the employees. They are legally represented by us. And the way you treat with other people in looking at that bill should be different to how you treat with us.
The PSU's General Secretary believes hundreds of workers in the health sector will be negatively impacted by this bill as it speaks to employees receiving contracts to work at health facilities.
What the bill has indicated is that people will be given contract for no more than 3 years, and I think it ends there. And to tell me that we're going to reach at a point where a nurse's employment will depend on so and so and so and so and so and so, it hurts me.
The deadline for receiving feedback on the bills was 21st September. Mr. Later says despite this deadline, the union will review the other bills and submit their feedback in due time.
We have an obligation to the members, and that is to make representation on their behalf, to speak on their behalf. We have been consulting with them, and even with what we have submitted, if once other ideas emerge, notwithstanding the fact that we made a submission on September 14th, we will continue in making other submission, and on the other bills, we have not done that, we will be doing that also.
The PSU will hold a meeting with its membership on Friday, 25th September to further discuss the issue. You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Welcome back. Government has renewed its commitment to take care of the Dominica people despite the trying times of the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking at the handing over ceremony of housing units to 30 families in Grand Bay, Prime Minister Skerrit said despite recent adversities, government is dedicated to ensuring the well-being of the people.
There is nowhere in the world where you would have been impacted by such a hurricane and now this pandemic, and you would keep everybody employed. Every public officer is employed. And everybody receives his salary before the month end comes. We are doing this thing because we are committed to the people. Because this government recognizes that in this time, it is important that we maintain the dignity of people to be able to earn their daily bread. Likewise, the National Employment Program. Every month we send $120,000 to Grand Bay to pay for the NEP. Every month. $3.5 million every month is spent on the National Employment Program.
As regards the education of citizens, Mr. Skerrit says this too has been top on the agenda.
When we talk about university education, if you do not have a name, a surname in Dominica, if your parents do not know somebody in the ministry who could pull a string for your child. The first time ordinary working class people started going to university was when Labour sent Dominicans to Cuba in the late 70s. And this is why we can have medical doctors and lawyers in Grand Bay and elsewhere in Dominica coming from ordinary families, not from the big surname families. And so it is important for us in this country to understand we must always defend this government, because the attack on the government is on the top of what we're doing.
And the call to the Dominican public to show greater appreciation for local artists. The call from Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence. Lawrence says Dominican artists have made a significant mark in the region and the world and should be appreciated for their efforts in promoting Dominica.
Dominica has a lot of talent, and sometimes we just take it all for granted. And sometimes we cry down ourselves as well on Facebook and other media platforms, not realizing and appreciating the achievements of Dominicans. I remember too, at one Carifesta, they selected 5 artists from the entire Caribbean, performing and visual artists. And Ophelia was selected among the 5 from across the entire Caribbean. That distinguished Dominica at Carifesta that year. And I'm sure all of us remember when Michael Henderson's song was selected as the anthem of the Caribbean or of CARICOM from among several submissions from all across the Caribbean. So Dominica has been and still is being recognized as a country of great talent.
The Chief Cultural Officer was speaking at the Portway Putut Moon event, which highlights pieces of work from veteran painter Earl Etienne.
Earl Etienne is one of our finest and most distinguished artists, not just in Dominica, but in the Caribbean. I remember when a certain Caribbean company was looking for some of the best art in the Caribbean for a calendar that they were producing that year. They went from Caribbean country to country to select the works they wanted to feature. Every month on the calendar, they were supposed to feature a different painting. And when they came to Dominica, they chose one of Earl's paintings to feature in the calendar. After they had viewed all the artworks on display at the time from various artists at the Old Mill in order to make their selection, the head of the delegation came to me and said the works they had viewed were some of the finest artworks they had seen on their entire tour of the Caribbean.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, the headlines again. Dominica now has 6 active cases of COVID-19. 30 families in Grand Bay receive keys to their new homes, and no response yet to the Public Service Union's concerns on the Hospital Authority bill. Feel free to access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us next time.